what's up, everybody? This is Charles. I want to welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamerspro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and where we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. Ladies and gentlemen, what more can we say at this freaking point? Last night, we had an opportunity to see the Clippers face the Lakers again. I believe it was for the third time. And what happened? The Clippers beat the living hell out of the Lakers when they didn't even have their best players. Now, we already knew that the Clippers had already beaten the Lakers, I believe it was 2 times already this season. But this time, some people felt as if the Lakers were going to win this game because of what was at stake. Going into this game, as you all know, the Lakers right now were yesterday and are still the 9th seed in the Western Conference. And the Lakers are essentially playing for their play-in lives. Forget about their playoff lives. They're playing to get into the play-in tournament or stay within the play-in tournament contention, that window, right? So a lot of people felt that, listen, given the fact that there's this kind of urgency out there and what's at stake, the Lakers were going to come out there and really fight and beat the Clippers. And what happened? The total opposite happened. The Clippers put an embarrassing beatdown on the Lakers again. Somehow, some way, this LeBron James-led Laker team with Russell Westbrook and Carmelo Anthony and all these guys somehow couldn't find a way to beat the Clippers. To me, I think is unconscionable. If you look at the box score yesterday, I want you guys to take a listen to this. LeBron, he had a very good game. Kind of. He scored 26 points, which is very good, but he shot 44% from the field, which is low for him. He's usually around the 50% mark. He shot 22% from the three-point line, which was very bad. He went 2 of 9, but he was 8 out of 10 from the free throw line, which was good. Now, he had 8 rebounds and 4 assists. However, he had 4 turnovers. And what you'll notice is when LeBron has these high turnover games, someone is going to talk about him because usually, they just generally don't do that. But also he tends to put out good numbers. And obviously the other players on the team like Malik Monk chipped in 12 points. Russell Westbrook had actually a pretty solid game. He had 17 points. He had 3 assists, 8 rebounds. He only had 2 turnovers. He was 75% from the free throw line, but he didn't make any of his threes. And he made about 44% of his field goals of the shots that he took. But that's usually where he's at. On the Clippers side, though, Reggie Jackson, who was almost out of the NBA 2 years ago, but had it not been for Paul George, who recruited him to come to the Clippers, according to Paul George when he went on Serge Ibaka's show, How Hungry Are You? This guy scored 36 points, had 9 assists, 8, damn near had a triple-double. He was 100% from the free throw line, 50% from the 3, and he shot 47% from the field. Essentially what happened was the Lakers couldn't guard a parked car. They couldn't play defense. They gave up 132 points. 132 freaking. But how do you even do that? How? How is this even happening? And it's one of the reasons I kept telling people that I thought that the Clippers were the better team. It wasn't because I like Kawhi Leonard or I hate LeBron James. No. And I hate LeBron. I have him in my top 5. It was because I thought that the Clippers were the much better constructed ball club. It was literally that simple. If the Clippers are doing this without their best player and with best players and without their recent acquisition in Norman Powell, what the hell do you think this team would be if they were at full strength? This is what I kept telling people. For the people out there that hate Kawhi and don't like the Clippers or whatever it is, just pray that Kawhi Leonard and Paul George don't come back. Just pray that they don't come back this season. Because if they come back this season, I will take the Clippers, a healthy Clippers, against any single team in the Western Conference, and you can make all of the teams healthy. Bring everybody back. Let them all be healthy. Make the Lakers healthy. Make the Phoenix Suns healthy. Make the Golden State Warriors healthy. I would take those guys against all of those teams. I think that, listen, the team that really scared me when the Clippers were at full strength was the original big three with the Brooklyn Nets. That original big three with James Harden, Kyrie Irving, and Kevin Durant, I just thought, like, listen, I just found it very hard for anybody to be able to stop that team offensively. The big three was averaging about 75 points together. I mean, it was absurd. So that was a team that really had me worried. But if this Clipper team was healthy and they had all of their horses, I would pick them against anybody in the West. Now, some people say, well, you're being biased to Kawhi Leonard. Well, I just no. I think that's what would happen. Now, as far as the Lakers is concerned, there's actually no real words to express or explain what's happening with the Lakers. And listen, you guys cannot use the excuse of Anthony Davis is not there. Well, if Anthony Davis is there, he'll be doing all of this, he'll be doing all of that, because you cannot use an excuse that anybody else or everybody else can use. You cannot use injuries as an excuse because literally everybody could use that as an excuse. It's not a good excuse. If you're going to say that the Lakers will be better with Anthony Davis, then I can say that the Clippers could be better with Kawhi Leonard and Paul George. I mean, literally you could say that, but it's not good enough because they still have LeBron and Russell freaking Westbrook, which means that they have more all-star power than the Clippers. So what is your excuse? You have no good excuse. This is the point I'm making. Some people say, well, at one point they didn't have LeBron, and at one point they didn't have Anthony Davis, and the Clippers haven't had Kawhi Leonard all season. Paul George has only played 25 of the 65 available games or 62 available games that the Clippers have played. So again, there is no excuse. What is going on with the Lakers is totally inexcusable. A team that at any given time could have 4 top 75 players. I don't know why I always forget to include LeBron. 4 top 75 players on one roster. And these guys can't even beat the Clippers? Oh, y'all freaking kidding me. And let me just quickly say this in closing. I don't want to hear nothing about comparing this LeBron to Michael Jordan. I don't want to hear it. I just don't want to hear it. 37 or not, MJ never had this level of talent around him and couldn't compete. When Michael Jordan was with the Washington Wizards, he was 40 years old, 39, 40 years old, and he had that team in playoff contention until he hurt his knee. A 40-year-old basketball player was scoring 20 points a night for the Washington Wizards. Who was his teammates? Rip Hamilton, Kwame Brown, some other players. He didn't have Russell Westbrook. He didn't have Anthony Davis. He didn't have Carmelo Anthony on his roster. He didn't have Dwight Howard in waiting. He didn't have Trevor Ariza. You guys are looking pathetic out there. There's no excuse for this. There's none. That they lost to the Clippers by 20 points. And the Clippers don't even have their best player. There's no excuse. Zero. You got to take this one on the chin. That's what I think. What do you guys think? Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section below. Catch you guys on the next episode.